Welcome to Quantum Wellness. I'm your host, Kara Posick, and boy, do I have a special for you tonight. We have Jim Barnett, who's the liaison to the most incredible science team that has created, they've been together for 50 years, all quantum physicists practically, and they have created the most unique quantum technologies that I'll tell you, you've all been waiting to hear this. This is so different. This is so next generation. This is so life-changing. So, Jim Barnett, I would love to have you come on and tell us about this new quantum technology that you have been involved with for the last 8 years.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Kara, for this opportunity to speak to people and to let them know what the difference is in this technology. This is advanced technology. We know that nutrition feeds the body, but how do you go to quantum nutrition? How do you penetrate connective tissue? And by connective tissue specifically, I'm talking about the red blood cell. It is the one responsible for delivery of oxygen, which allows the nutrition to feed the system in a better way.
Life
If I
is in the blood.
It is. So this was designed, this technology, 50 years of study, a little over 40 plants. They have studied what are the AI selected molecules that could penetrate connective tissue. We're talking about the red blood cell. If I do that in the right way, remember on this so that you understand. Is there any university books? Is there any college or studies on this? Guys, this is ahead of its time. This is penetrating connective tissue, the red blood cell in specific, so that you get the system to add more oxygen to the system, thereby dilating the capillaries and now opening up the system better to wash out the microplastics. We're going to talk about microplastics here for a second. Microplastics are a part of everybody's life. It's a poison that's causing confusion, inflammation, leading to aging, faster aging. Just read an article today on the 500% increase in cancer rate, colon or colorectal cancer in the young, 20 to 40. 500% growth. And it's coming, guys, from microplastics. There's a big noise right now about microplastics. 90% of meat contains little bitty pieces of plastic that we ingest every day. It is now being studied. You know, a few years ago, they were talking, oh, it's not that much plastic. Well, it's being uncovered now that there's a lot of plastic in these plastic bottles that we're drinking from. To give you an example, 240,000 pieces of plastic for 1 liter bottle of water. And that's 1 liter bottle of anything, plastic, that's plastic. But I was reading an article yesterday, sent by the science team to me, 3.8 million pieces of plastic per individual coming from meat alone. Any kind of meat, it has plastic packaging. Largest extra ingredient, a condiment ingredient, is the Himalayan pink salt. It has the most plastic of any condiment.
Oh no.
And people do not know this. They
I did.
don't know. It's wrapped in plastic, it picks up the plastic, and now you eat the plastic. And now it causes confusion in the body, causes inflammation. Body gets confused. It's not a clean machine anymore. And we all know what happens if you let the engine in your car get dirty and you don't change the oil. It goes quicker. It's gone. This is what our goal here is, to give people the chance to hear a message that could get this stuff washed out of the body on a consistent basis. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I can get penetration to the connective tissue, open up the capillary, dilate that because of this openness and more oxygen-rich environment, and then allow the body to wash it out through the liver and kidneys. Metabolic filter the kidneys.
So you're saying this new technology can wash these plastic particles out of our bodies?
I'm going to say this technology gives the body the ability to
Yeah.
wash it. And it's doing that through oxygen-rich environment. How do we know that's true? because DNA blood work tests were done for biological age reversal. In California, the test was devised by the lady that won the Nobel Prize for her discovery of telomerase. Long story, but she devised this lab to test your blood, DNA test to test what's your inside age, the age of your tissues and organs. Guys, I'm not talking about 75 years old and looking 25 again. I'm talking about the inside, the part that matters, the mechanical part. How good is it? How clean is it? How peak performance operation is it able to do? And with the bombardment of microplastic, we don't even talk about cell phone, 5G, Wi-Fi interference of radiation in the body. Some believe that, some don't. Doesn't matter. Microplastics is a reality. We're ingesting it every day, and there's no way to get away from it. It's in the vegetables, it's in the meat, it's in the water, it's in everything we drink.
It's in babies' placentas.
Yes. Did you know formula has a high
That doesn't surprise
concentration
me.
of microplastic? So it's very high. We wrap everything in plastic. What do babies drink their formula out of?
Plastic bottles.
This is what I'm talking about. It's become cheaper than glass. It's easier to ship than glass. It doesn't break. It's got a lot of benefit, but we're taking the brunt of the back end. And so how do we get this stuff out of our body so that we don't continue to climb in this faster aging process as the younger age comes up? We're finding 500% increase in colorectal or colon cancer. Guys, this means that we've got some kind of infiltration. And they do mention in that article, micro and nanoplastics are a contributing factor in what we're talking about.
Well, we live in toxic soup
Yes,
as well. I mean, our air, food, and water. And now you're just saying that microplastics may be one of the biggest portions of what's causing our problems.
It's the biggest one that now has huge media attention. I'm talking about studies done January of February of this year. They're just now finding out, you know what? We're consuming a lot of plastic. How do I get it out of the body? And the only way to get it out of the body is to get oxygen-rich environment, penetrate the red blood cell that delivers oxygen, get more openness, what the science team calls more open and clean pipes. And as it does, the blood washes it out through the liver and the kidneys. Now you're getting a self-sustaining system that is getting rid of the plastics that you're definitely going to consume or ingest. No matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, you're going to consume them. They've already proven that it's true. Now, what do we do about it? And how do we keep the body in the best shape that we can and the mind? You know, they call it zombie cells. They found a term for it here at the end of this last year. Mayo Clinic, Cedars-Sinai. They said, yes, we know that there's contamination of the food and stuff in the water and the things we drink and eat, but it's causing zombie cells.
Those are senescent cells, aren't they?
They're senescent cells. Those are in our body. But the reason they call them zombie is they don't die right. They don't replicate anymore, but they don't die right. Now I'll tell you where it's coming from. Inflammation because of poisons. And now it gets confused. They don't know how to die right to be picked up by new cells and now are getting washed out of the body. And then they start to affect other cells because they just hang around and won't die. The only way to get this stuff cleaned up is to penetrate connective tissue. Will regular vitamin, mineral, herbal complexes or simplexes work? No, because they haven't taken the time to find what molecules will penetrate the red blood cell. These scientists have. They spent 50 years at it. So are they just loading up the body? We know you can drink a deal of celery juice. We know you can. You can juice it and see. But can you penetrate connective tissue to allow more oxygen-rich environment, get the system open and clean on the inside so that things operate more efficient?
So you're saying this science team was able to go into plants, locate, isolate, remove, and study every single molecule.
There's 168 extract components in one leaf of the celery plant.
Wow.
What would be the top 10 or 12 extractions that would be the very best the body could recognize and utilize? And here's the deal. How do I penetrate the connective tissue? How do you do that? These people have spent a lifetime at it. They did blood work on 1,500 individuals, showing this reversal of the inside age, the organs in the tissue on the inside. Like, let's say I'm 60. What's the inside age? What are my tissue and organ inside age? That's what their test showed. This is the only thing I know on the planet, and I'm talking about the world, that will give a 20 to 30-year difference between my birthday age and what my inside age is. And they're still talking with the vitamins, minerals, and stuff we've got out here now. They're still talking that if you eat right, I don't know how you're going to do that without plastic in it. But if you eat right, you exercise, and you do the right things that they tell you, and their product, they can reverse the age 5 years, maybe 8, I've heard. Now, I've never seen any blood work, but they tell me 5 to 8. Yes, it's good. Everything's good. Show me the blood work. They don't have it.
But this blood work says it reverses biological age by up to 20, 30 or more years.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
And guess what? That, you just said it, is unheard of. It can't, guys, it can't be done without an oxygen-rich environment, reducing inflammation, especially in the little bitty vessels that carry blood. Those are the ones that close off first when you're consuming these plastics and stuff. The little bitty 100 fit in one human hair. That's how small they are, that carry oxygen and nutrition to the body. Millions of them. Those close first. Those are the ones that close first, not the big ones. We need that to sustain life. But the little ones close because of poisons. 100 of these little ones fit in one. Take a hair out of your head.
Yeah.
And realize 100 of these things carrying blood and nutrition fit in one human hair.
So no wonder they get so blocked up so quickly.
They get clogged. And now, if enough of them clog, oh, you've got a diagnosis.
Yeah.
You have a condition problem. And I'm talking about either in the pancreas. Oh, I have blood sugar problems. In the brain, I've got dementia, Alzheimer's. Oh, where did that come from? You have enough of them closed, and you're not getting enough nutrition to it with enough oxygen-rich environment to make it function properly, so it doesn't function properly. And that's what the difference, that's why this direction.
And how do you get it in?
What's that?
How do you get this into your body?
You spray it in your body, or you put it on your skin.
So you spray it in your mouth, and it goes right into your bloodstream.
And there is also a topical. I call it a topical. Really, it's not. It adds this nutrition to the skin. You've got the epidermis layer of the skin, the dermal layer of the skin, the middle layer, and then the hypodermic where the blood runs. The blood runs to that area in a focused way to grab the nutrition that's in the cream so it can use it for the penetration of the connective tissue. When it does, it's going to bring focus of attention with blood flow and oxygen and the immune system to that area. So when I put this cream like on a cut, burn, my skin, it's an exfoliator of the skin on instant contact because of this magnificent thing that we're talking about, bringing the blood flow in a more focused area, trying to get the nutrition that's in the cream. It is adjusted for penetration through the connective tissue, which is the blood, the red blood cells specifically. And now things can change just by the fact that I'm feeding the body to the right mechanism. We know nutrition's good. We know that supplements are good. But how do I pinpoint a light? Instead of adding light to the room, we know when you turn on the light, it adds a lot of visual aspect. You can see a lot of. I mean, if it's not dark, you can see everything. And that's what we're talking about here. Adding light to the room, regular nutrition, regular biochemistry nutrition.
Well, this is food. If it's only plants, nothing else added, this is food.
It is food.
Right through the bloodstream, and you're able to get it from the inside out and the outside in.
Yeah. And see, what I meant to say is you can add light to the room with regular juicing and all that, or you can add laser to the room to penetrate what you need to penetrate with the nutrition it needs in a specific way to cause a reaction. a more oxygen-rich environment, which causes the body to open up. And now the cleaning of the body happens through the blood because of this open environment. If I do not penetrate that with nutrition aspect, I'm just adding light to the room. It's not a laser that pinpoints where I need to go. It's not that.
And
It's
this is the
it's a
laser.
general aspect of nutrition. It's what's out here. It's good for you. Yes, eat some celery, juice some celery with some blueberry or whatever, and drink it. I'm adding light to the room. If I use molecule intervention of penetrative quantum nutrition, I'm penetrating the tissue. I'm penetrating the connective. The red blood cell is a connective tissue. If you read on Google, red blood cell is a connective tissue. If I can penetrate that, I can add more vibrancy to the life-giving substance, the
So
blood.
upgrading the blood.
Yes.
Upgrading the blood.
You're upgrading the blood. Is there any other substance out here? I don't know of anybody who's done tests that show 20, 40 years or 20, 30 years of reversal of biological inside age. There isn't any.
Can
And
you,
if they talk that stuff, I always ask, do you
excuse me,
have blood work? We do have it. Many years of study here, many years of study in Europe. If you'll do it, your body will last longer. Period. In the subject, I can keep it open and clean and not cluttered. My body lasts longer. And guess what? You only have one. You can't trade this one in. If this one's ruined, there won't be a trade in. It's not a car. It's not an automobile. It's your life. It's your family's life.
and
So
you've seen results in people's bodies.
absolutely. I've seen it in mine. I've seen it in other people. I've seen it in the testimonies I've done for the last 8, 9 years as a liaison for the science team. It's been phenomenal. Some of the things that we have, and my dream is that if we reach enough demographic of people, and we're fighting what people. There's no college or university studies or books on this. It's an advancement in technology that no university even has the study on. They don't even have a book written on it. It's kind of ahead of its time. It's using AI. It's using the AI to select molecules. If I spray it in my body, my inside stays cleaner. The pathways of blood and stuff stay open and clean. And now I have vibrancy in my life that I could not find anywhere else. And if we're expected to understand that $60 billion is a supplement business today, expected to be 80 billion in the United States by 2030, and 225 billion worldwide, expected to go to like 380 billion by 2030. People are looking for solutions. They know that we're running into problems. They know there's poisons in our food. They know that we should be trying to eat better, or we should have some kind of way to clean our system up. And we have that. We have, or else why would 8 out of 10 Americans be taking some kind of supplement? That 80% take some kind of supplement. Well, why not this in a new direction to
This is
achieve what
food.
you're
This
saying?
isn't a supplement, and our bodies are made for food.
But you know, in the supplement category, they're trying all kinds of things. Why not do this and give the body exactly what it needs to penetrate the red blood cell so that you nutritionize, you give the nutrition to the red blood cell that makes everything else proliferate in the right direction. But if I can add more oxygen to the system, I can get an open environment. Because guess what the blood needs and the body needs? Oxygen. If you
Oxygen.
don't have it, the body suffocates. It gets inflamed. How do I get rid of inflammation in a fast way?
Open
More
up the
oxygen-rich
circulation.
environment. This is why. And you know, people ask all the time. They say, "Well, wait a minute." I always say, you know, one of the biggest factors for me was watching inflammation in blood work come down. There's a marker for the blood that shows inflammation in the body, the network of veins and arteries, or the tissue, or the lymph glands. There's a way to tell in the blood what that is. How can you reduce that inflammation marker by 70 to 90% in 2 weeks? That's the big question that I used to ask. How is that possible? Because is there any vitamin, mineral, herbal complex or
No,
juicing or
there
whatever?
is not.
None of
There is
that.
not.
And the reason is it doesn't penetrate the connective tissue to add more oxygen to the system thereby reducing inflammation because of an open environment to receive. This is what
This
this
will
is
change
what's been
healthcare.
coming. Yes, it does.
This will change healthcare. And I believe that the company's mission and the science team's mission is to change healthcare. And we certainly need an upgrade. And
Yeah,
this sounds
definitely.
like absolutely what we've been waiting for. I think this is quantum wellness at its finest.
Mhm.